right, everyone. Happy holidays. Welcome to another Tech Talk Tuesday with Novice Tech. We are going to talk about the Holiday Phishing Extravaganza just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday. We are 2 days away from Thanksgiving. And so we know that means all kinds of promotions. And, you got Black Friday and Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday. And that also means lots and lots of phishing scams and scams in general. And if we have time, we'll get into some other scams other than phishing. We're going to talk primarily about holiday phishing, and how to stay vigilant this holiday season. This is the annual for us. We do this every year. So sit back, enjoy the ride. All right. First of all, welcome. I am Scott Cumber. I own Novice Tech. Among other things, we do manage services for business clients. We do cybersecurity, and we do managed compliance as well. I also serve on the 405D task force, which is a federal task force to improve cybersecurity within the healthcare industry. I serve on the NIST privacy work group. I am the chair of the Cybersecurity and Tech Committee for the New Haven County Bar Association, and I also sit on the Ed and Tech Committee for the Mid-State Chamber of Commerce here in the middle of Connecticut. And we have something special for you today. So if you go to bit.ly/NT special offer, you'll get something special from us for attending today's webinar. We greatly appreciate it, and we wanted to show our appreciation. So go check that out. Again, that's bit.ly/NT special offer. Well, welcome to our webinar on Holiday Phishing Extravaganza. Today we will delve into the digital threats that notably surge during the holiday season. Typically they go up significantly right around now. So it's Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Right around now is when the surge of holiday phishing scams will begin. So we're understanding the threat to holiday phishing, and then we're going to talk about how to mitigate that threat going forward. So again, welcome everyone. And as a small business owner, your vigilance against these threats is crucial for safeguarding your business and customer data. So first, you have to define the threat. Phishing is a deceptive practice where cyber criminals impersonate legitimate entities and steal sensitive information such as login credentials and financial data. During the holidays, the volume of digital transactions increases. Obviously, people are going on Amazon and shopping and all the other online methods of shopping, but also they're going to the stores more. So you'll see other types of scams occurring more too, or they have the charity scams and all these different types of scams that occur more frequently this time of the year. Such as login credentials and financial data. During the holidays, the volume of digital transactions increases, providing a fertile ground for phishing attacks. Why is this relevant to small businesses? I'm going to tell you a story why it's relevant in a moment, but you might be thinking, just keep this in the back of your mind. You might be thinking, well, my employees, they don't use their work email to access those types of services or social media or anything like that, right? Just keep that in the back of your mind for a moment. This webinar aims to equip you with knowledge about holiday phishing scams, how to recognize them, and strategies to protect your business. We'll also share practical tips and resources to bolster your cybersecurity measures during the festive season and beyond. And of course, as always, ask questions. If you want to ask questions, don't wait till the end. You can ask them at any point during this presentation. The importance of cybersecurity for small businesses during the holiday season. Again, the reason you may not have anything to do with the holiday rush. Your business might not have anything to do with the holiday rush, but let's be realistic. Your employees do. They're going to go on Cyber Monday and look for deals. They're going to try to get shopping done while they're at work because it's easier now than ever. They're going to check emails at work. Hopefully they're not, but they might be checking their personal emails at work. And we'll get to that later. But because of the increased online transactions, the holiday season often brings a surge in online sales, with more financial transactions occurring there's a higher risk of cyber attacks like credit card fraud and identity theft. Targeting of peak shopping periods. Cyber criminals are aware that businesses, especially small ones, may be more focused on sales and customer service during this period, possibly leading to lowered guard against cyber threats. Phishing scams are prime time for it is prime time for phishing scams. Cyber criminals craft holiday-themed phishing emails, and I'm going to show you just how easy that is in a minute. Or fake websites to trick employees and customers into divulging sensitive information. Small businesses may become more susceptible to ransomware attacks as they might not have the robust cybersecurity defenses that larger organizations possess. But even more importantly, because of the time of the year, you might have office celebrations, you might have smaller, you might have people taking time off from work, vacations, extra days off, longer weekends. Again, Tuesday before Thanksgiving, good percentage of businesses are going to be closed Thursday and Friday. Giving any cyber attackers that may already have gotten a foothold into your organization 4 days to do some damage. So that there's that. The remote work challenges with employees possibly working remotely during the holidays. There's an increased risk of security breach due to unsecured networks and devices. Data protection. Small businesses often hold sensitive customer data. A breach during the holidays can lead to significant data loss, legal consequences, and damage to the business's reputation. And again, longer weekends for some of the, Christmas is on a Monday this year, so maybe you're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or you're off this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, or this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This gives the attackers more time to get in and snoop around to see what they can find. Supply chain attacks. The interconnected nature of supply chains can pose cybersecurity risks. We've already seen a number of these, and they continue. We saw a big one this year with the Move It file transfer software. Financial and reputational damage. A cyber attack can have severe financial implications due to the loss of sales, ransom payments, and cost of recovery. And 60% of businesses that suffer a data breach are out of business within 6 months. So something to think about there. Compliance and regulatory obligations. We've talked a lot about compliance in the last few weeks, especially for Cybersecurity Awareness Month. But again, Connecticut, we have some of the strictest data privacy laws in the country. Florida, where our satellite is, in Tampa, not yet, but it's coming next year. And then you can rest assured a federal one is coming at some point. But then you also may have to deal with HIPAA or the FTC or FERPA or something else. Increased cyber attack sophistication. And again, I'm going to show you something about that towards the end. And to mitigate these risks, small businesses should invest in robust cybersecurity measures, train employees on security best practices, regularly update and patch systems, use secure payment processing methods, and have a response plan in place in case of a cyber incident. We talked about the incident response plan a few weeks ago. If you weren't here for that, make sure you go to YouTube, our YouTube channel at Novice Tech. It is on there, but we've talked about all of these things over the last few weeks, right? The real cost of a phishing attack. Lost hours from employees. So if you're successfully phished, now let me make this clear. Everybody receives phishing emails. If you have an email address that's been active, you're receiving phishing emails. There's nothing you can do to stop it. If you're using Microsoft or Google for your email, and I mean professional, not outlook.com or gmail.com, but actually paying to have their email services route your email, you are about 80 to 90% of those phishing emails are getting blocked right off the bat, but you're still getting some. If anybody tells you they're not getting phishing emails, they're lying, because they're coming in. No matter what you do, they will come in. But a successful phish means you got a phishing email and somebody clicked on the link, or somebody downloaded the attachment, or somebody, they did something to interact with that email that they weren't supposed to do. So lost hours from employees. So now you've been successfully phished, and maybe it launches malware on your system or worse. And now you've lost employee productivity. Remediation costs. So if it was successful, we have to remediate it. What does that look like? What is that going to cost? The incident response. First of all, do you even have an incident response? And if you do, what's that going to cost you? Damaged reputation. So if you suffer a data breach, your reputation is now on the hook. So I get reports for data breaches in healthcare. I get reports for data breaches in Connecticut. And the businesses that I see on that list, their reputation takes a hit as far as I'm concerned. So, and I'm coming from the cybersecurity perspective. That tells me you didn't, in a lot of cases, not all cases, but in most cases, remember, hackers are looking for the easiest way in. So in most cases, they've done something that gave them access, and it wasn't that complicated. It wasn't like you see in the movies where some super hacker would types a million miles a minute and insert some code and all the other stuff you see with these movies in Hollywood. It's not like that most of the time. Most of the time, it's an easy way in. Lost intellectual property. They steal whatever they can get. Direct monetary losses. Again, they steal whatever they can get. Compliance fines, lost revenue, and legal fees. You could just about get guarantee that if there was negligence because you weren't doing your part as a business owner, there will be legal fees. 82%. There's a between November 24th, which as I record this this was last year, I'm sorry. Between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday last year, there was an 82% higher globally higher than during the rest of the year. Phishing attempts, digital fraud attempts, and 127% greater than during the rest of the year for transactions originating in the US. So just in the US, it's 127% higher from Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday. So Thursday to Monday. And it continues to be high up until after the new year. The study found a staggering 36% of Americans have fallen victim to online shopping scams during the holidays. I know people that have personally, so. Up to 43% of cyber attacks are aimed at small businesses, but only 14% are prepared to defend themselves. Not very good numbers. Phishing attacks account for more than 90% of data breaches. I saw another number that said that 95% of all data breaches involve a human somewhere along the way, and almost always phishing. 60% of employees in small businesses have not received any cybersecurity training from their employers, and only 28% of small businesses rate their ability to mitigate cyber risks, vulnerabilities, and attacks as highly effective. Now, I would say if you're a business owner like myself, who's always paranoid and is always looking for the next thing, you probably always feel like you could do more. So that's okay. But if you're not doing the bare minimum to protect your client's data, then you're being negligent with your client's data. What is phishing? So we hear this term a lot. It is what it looks like, really. It's just spelled differently. Essentially, somebody sends you something that's trying to hook you, to bait you. And often they use some type of strong emotion to get to sink the hook in. So phishing is a type of cyber attack where attackers impersonate legitimate organizations or individuals to deceive victims into providing sensitive information such as login credentials, credit card numbers, or other personal data. The term phishing is a play on the word phishing with an F, as these scams involve baiting users into falling for the trick. Here's how they work most of the time. Deceptive communication. Typically, phishing attacks begin with a communication, often an email. So email is still the dominant method of phishing, but there are other methods that are increasing. So we'll get to that in a moment. where I lost my place. Sorry. This could be a financial institution, a technology provider, a government agency, or any other financial or I'm sorry, any other familiar entity. I will tell you today, what happens a lot is all those businesses that think they're too small. You're not too small. You could be a single owner operator business, and they want your account so that they can use it to attack other accounts. So everybody is a potential victim here. Urgent or enticing content. The message usually contains an urgent or enticing prompt. For example, it might warn that your account will be closed unless you confirm personal information, or it might offer a reward for completing a survey. It'll include malicious links or attachments. PDF and Microsoft Office documents. People think they can download them and open them and they're secure. They can be used maliciously. So you can attach things to them that include malicious code, malicious macros, things like that, that will infect your computer and or allow access to the outside world. Harvesting information. When victims enter their information on these false websites or in response to an email, the attackers capture it. In cases where malware is installed, it can also harvest data or provide access to the victim's system. Exploiting the stolen data, the attackers then use the stolen information for various purposes, such as stealing money, identity theft, selling the information on the dark web, or gaining unauthorized access to secure systems. And usually they're going to do all of those things. Types of phishing. So there are lots of types of phishings today. So you have, I'll just go through what I have here, and there's probably some that are missing. So there's email phishing. This is the one we're most familiar with. It's a scam via email, pretending to be somebody else, usually. Spear phishing, this is where it's more targeted. So they're looking often for C-level executives or things like that, a specific person, usually. Whaling is a type of spear phishing that targets high-profile individuals like CEOs or CFOs. Smishing and vishing, these are phishing conducted via SMS, that's smishing, or voice, which like phone calls, which is vishing. You also have clone phishing, involves duplicating a legitimate email that recipient has previously received, but with a malicious link or attachment. You also now have phishing, QR phishing, so they use a QR code with a malicious link. And there's been some going around with Microsoft, claiming to be from Microsoft, and it has a QR code to scan to re-authenticate your multi-factor authentication application. Microsoft doesn't do that. There's also the combination now of two, usually an email and a voice call, or a text and a voice call, making it a lot more successful. Why the holiday season? Well, it's pretty obvious. One reason is we're a little more distracted this time of the year. Another one is because of the increased online activity. We are shopping. We're always distracted, to be honest, but we're more distracted now than we are the rest of the year. Emotional manipulation, it could be that we're triggered by emotional things, seeing a dog that needs a home, or seeing a missing loved one, things like that. Seasonal themes in phishing campaigns. I think in a sense, in some of our minds, it might make it seem like it's legitimate because it's got a seasonal theme. Relaxed security postures. This is kind of going back to the extra time off for some employees. You might have an office party. Maybe people are bringing in cookies and cakes for the holidays, things like that. Increased use of out-of-office replies, which I always tell clients, they don't always listen, but I always tell clients, do not have an out-of-office notification. The world does not need to know you're not in the office. Holiday themed malware and scams. Exploitation of shipping and traveling. Social engineering scams. It seems that people are easier manipulated this time of the year. Some of that might be your desire to help others. and this happens a lot with the fake charity scams. New Year scams, that's post-holiday scams that focus on New Year resolutions such as gyms or financial planning and so forth. So it's important to stay aware and stay vigilant. So what I do tell people is, don't walk away with your computer unlocked. Make sure you're thinking twice before clicking on links or downloading attachments. Make sure you're shopping on legitimate sources. So don't go to some third-party website you never heard of. It's because they have a great deal. There's a reason it's a great deal. It's probably too good to be true. Make sure you get the extra training. This is the time of the year when some businesses will launch their cybersecurity training for their employees. That should be year-round, employers. But this often is when they do it because they understand that there's a risk. So I'm going to tell you why business owners should be concerned now. You may or may not have heard about this. This is 8 years ago. In 2015, a significant cybersecurity incident occurred involving John Brennan, then the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. His personal AOL email account was hacked. Okay, so why does that matter to a business? Get to that. This event highlighted the vulnerabilities that even high-ranking government officials can face in the realm of digital security. So the background, personal email account, the account that was compromised was Brennan's personal AOL account, not his official government email. Again, you're probably thinking, who cares? It's his personal email account. It doesn't matter, but it does. So how the hack happened. Social engineering. The hackers reportedly used social engineering techniques to carry out the attack. They tricked a customer service representative of Brennan's telecom provider, who I believe was Verizon at the time, into revealing his personal details. Then they impersonated him. The attackers pretended to be a Verizon technician. Oh, there it is. It is Verizon. They impersonated a Verizon technician to gather more information about Brennan's account, which they then used to reset the password and then gain access to his AOL email. So they pretended to be Verizon Tech. I think they were pretending to be a field service rep, and then called Verizon and asked for some information, with the premise that they were doing some work on his home or something along those lines. The aftermath, sensitive information exposed. So he reportedly had an Excel document with agent names and social security numbers, I believe it was. The email account contained several sensitive files, so there was more than one, including Brennan's application for security clearance. Oh, so yes, I do remember hearing that. And supposedly, if you Google it today, it's still out there. I don't know what he's done to mitigate the risk, but the application is still out there if you Google it, which holds personal information. There was a public disclosure. Some of the contents from the email account were published to WikiLeaks, which raised significant concerns about the privacy and security of sensitive government information. The incident became a matter of national concern, highlighting the risk associated with high-profile individuals using personal email accounts for work-related communication, even if inadvertently. So now, what I would tell you is, this is why you block personal email accounts at work. But let's just say you operate on the code of honor and trust. You believe your employees are going to do the right thing. They might be shopping at work. Chances are they are. And if they happen to open a malicious link in their personal email at work, guess what? Your work computers are now at risk. The breach led to an investigation by the FBI and the Secret Service. A teenager in the UK believed to be the main perpetrator was arrested in connection with the hack. Lessons learned: vulnerability of personal email accounts. The incident underscored the vulnerability of personal email accounts to hacking, especially when used for work-related purposes. Importance of strong security measures. It highlighted the need for strong security measures, including secure passwords and multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication. I don't know if AOL had it then, but if they did, should have been in place. Risks of social engineering. The breach demonstrated how social engineering can be a potent tool in the hands of cyber criminals. The need for vigilance by customer service reps. It also pointed to the need for vigilance and training, and I'll say it again, training for customer service reps to prevent them from being tricked by hackers. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of cybersecurity, not just the individuals, but also the organizations. So again, that just illustrates that a personal email account that you would think has nothing to do with your business, your job, could bring your business down to its knees. It could cripple the business with just one click. So I have a couple of examples I'll share with you. This one's been going around a lot. Your chances are you've gotten it as well. But this is the time of the year where you'll see a lot of this. The USPS, the Postal Service package has arrived at the warehouse and cannot be delivered due to incomplete address information. Please confirm your address in the link within 12 hours. That is not a USPS link. And then it says, please reply to why. So clearly a grammar issue there. Then exit the SMS, open the SMS activation link again, or copy the link to Safari browser and open it. The U.S. Postal team wishes you a wonderful day. That was my response to that person, by the way. And then the Amazon ones, they're all over the place right now. They have another one going around where they claim in order to verify the account, you have to send gift cards, but there's this Black Friday's deal are here. And these links you can see if you look at the email address, it's not coming from an Amazon account. If you could see that. If you click on these links, it's not going to take you to Amazon website either. And so I said earlier, it's getting easier than ever. And here's why. The role of AI. We've done some chat GPT stuff. And I showed you at one point how easy it is to craft a phishing email with chat GPT, even though if I said specifically, Amazon craft a phishing email targeting, John Smith about the importance, about important information about your Amazon account, you would think we won't do it because you're using the word phishing, and so it's not going to do it. But I told ChatGPT to create an email, a professional email, regarding my Amazon account being suspended. So you can see this is what it generated, and I left everything as it was, except for the formatting. I formatted it so it's a little easier to read. So, dear customer's name, again, it's telling you to fill these parts in. My name is your name, and you just fill in the areas where it says, and then you include a link. So now if I created an Amazon login page, which again isn't hard to do, there is software out there that could do that, and created a link that points to that, now I could steal people's credentials. That is pretty much the extent of it. So I'll give you a minute to look at that email address. So again, done with ChatGPT. Not hard to do. And this looks far better than the ones we're used to seeing, right? So how do we protect our business during this time of the year? So I've got some tips for you. Protecting your business from cyber threats is crucial in today's digital landscape. Implementing best practices for cybersecurity can help safeguard your business's data, reputation, and continuity. Here are some key strategies. Employee training and education. This is why we do this. And I tell everyone, the audience, every week, this is why I do this. Training and education. If you're aware, it makes it a little less likely that you're going to be exploited. Use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. I've said these things numerous times. Regularly update and patch systems. Make sure your Microsoft or your Mac computer is up to date. Anybody that tells you Mac is not susceptible to malicious activity is 100% wrong. Secure your network, protect network with firewalls and encrypt sensitive data backup and recovery plan, regularly back up data, and ensure you have a robust disaster recovery plan. Along with your incident response plan, you should have a disaster recovery plan. What does that look like? Implement access controls. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Make sure that users should not have access to things they should not have access to. Secure your email. Implement email security practices, including spam filters to catch phishing emails. Again, nothing is 100%. Stuff will still get through, or stuff that is legitimate might get blocked. But that often has to do with the sender's email settings. So maybe they haven't set up some of their records, their DMARC record, their SPF record, their DKIM record. If they haven't set those up, then that might be why the email's going to spam. Endpoint protection. Use reputable antivirus and anti-malware solutions on all endpoints, including mobile devices and laptops. Monitor and respond to threats. Continuously monitor your network for suspicious activity. Have an incident response plan in place to quickly address any security breaches. We give you a scenario here. It's not really holiday related or phishing related. Maybe it was, I don't know. I have a client that is moving their document system from one service to another service. So they're downloading all the documents and then backing it up to a cloud service. That download was primarily PDFs, and that download included a malicious PDF document. We caught it before anything was done. The malware was disabled immediately and no harm done. But imagine this document is sitting in one cloud service provider for probably years. You download it to move it to somewhere else, and it's a malicious file. You're not aware, and you accidentally or inadvertently launch a malicious attack on your systems. That's how easy it is for that to occur. Secure mobile devices. With the increasing use of mobile devices, ensure they are secured and managed, especially if they access business data. Should have encryption by default. I believe both iPhone and Android now have encryption on. But if you want to check, make sure you check and make sure encryption is on. Vendor and third-party security. Ensure that your third-party vendors follow stringent cybersecurity practices. They can be a backdoor for cyber criminals. Cybersecurity policy. Develop and maintain. And here's another one. Cybersecurity policy. You should also have your written information security policy. Legal compliance. Stay informed and comply with relevant data protection laws and regulations like GDPR, HIPAA, etc. In Connecticut, again, that's CTDPA. In Florida, I don't know what they're going to call it, but that's coming. You have FERPA, you have CCPA, California Consumer Protection Act. Colorado, I believe, has laws in place. So you have the FTC, all of those things. Phishing simulation, what we do frequently. Conduct regular phishing simulation exercises to test employees' ability to identify and respond to phishing attempts. Physical security. Implement physical security measures to prevent unauthorized access to your premises and IT infrastructure. If your server is sitting in the middle of your work area, this is bad news. And finally, cyber insurance. Make sure you have cyber liability insurance. If you don't have it, I know insurance providers. Give me a call. Specifically, protecting your business from phishing emails. 1, examine the sender's email address. 2, look for generic readings. If they say hello, or sometimes they forget to take out the little parentheses that says first name and they just leave that there. Beware of urgent or threatening language. I always tell people, if the email elicits a strong emotion, step away and come back to it later. Check for spelling and grammar mistakes. I just showed you why that probably isn't going to be much use anymore, but still check. Don't click on suspicious links or attachments. Look for HTTPS in URLs. verify requests for personal information. I'm going to go back to HTTPS. If I click on my browser where the address bar is, double click there, you can see the very beginning of your web address says HTTPS. I know you can't see my screen, but it'll say HTTP or HTTPS. You want the S. The S is secure, meaning that they have a security certificate and everything is transmitted via encryption. Verify request for personal information. Never assume that the person sending you an email is legitimate. Make a phone call, send a text message, whatever you need to do. Don't respond to the email though. Be wary of too good to be true offers that you saw a post on Facebook the other day. I shared it. We have a Facebook group called Scam Likely. Go look that up. But I shared it to that group, and it was I forget exactly, like a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for rent for $600 a month, and you can't even get a studio for $600 a month anymore. Use antivirus and anti-phishing software. Educate yourself and others. Be cautious with public Wi-Fi. Get a hotspot. If you find yourself constantly on the road needing to connect to public Wi-Fi, get a hotspot. Don't use public Wi-Fi. Check account statements regularly. Enable 2-factor authentication on everything. Everything, even your AOL account. And report phishing attempts. So there are agencies you can report phishing attempts to in the US. I want to say I might be further in this presentation. I want to say it's the FBI, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'll confirm. But you should immediately report it to your IT department. That's what my clients do. They send it to us, and we take a look at it and let them know one way or the other. So what do you do if you suspect a phishing attack? Do not click on anything, verify the source, and then report it. If you're in doubt, let's say you get an email from someone that you do sometimes exchange emails with, but it's something you're not familiar with. It looks suspicious for some reason. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right. Give them a call or give them a text, something along those lines, to verify that the email is real. If it's not real, they will often tell you, yeah, I've been hacked. You can report to your email providers. You can report to government agencies. For instance, in the US, you can report to the Anti-Phishing Working Group. And that's report phishing at apwg.org. And scan for malware, change your credentials, enable multi-factor authentication, monitor your accounts, and back up your data. This is what you do if you suspect a phishing attack, a successful one. All right, so I got one question quiz for you. This is the quiz. This is the email. Update on your recent Temu order cancellation notice. So Temu order has been canceled. This is the email exactly how it was, except for the No Watch Tech info. Dear customer, I hope this email finds you well. My name is your name, and I am with the customer service team at Temu. I am writing to you regarding your recent order with us, order number 119873. We regret to inform you that due to unforeseen circumstances, we have had to cancel your order. This decision was not made lightly, and I'm sorry, my camera's in the way, and we understand the inconvenience this may cause. This cancellation was due to the unavailability of the item. We prioritize the quality of service and customer satisfaction. Under these circumstances, we were unable to fulfill your order to our standard. Here's what you can expect next. Refund process. A full refund has been initiated for your order. Depending on your bank's process time, it may take up to 5 days, 5 business days for the amount to reflect in your account. Assistance with reordering. If you would still like to purchase these items from our store or items from our store, our team is here to assist you in placing a new order and ensuring a smooth process. Customer support. For any questions or assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us at 888-912-9237. Our team is committed to providing you with the support you need. We deeply value your choice to shop with Temu and apologize for any inconvenience and cancellation this cancellation may have caused. We are continually working to enhance our services and hope to serve you better in the future. Thank you for understanding it and patience in this matter. We look forward to the opportunity to serve you again. Warm regards, Lucas Bennett, customer service team, Temu. So I'll give you a moment to think about that. All right, so what do we think? Pretty well crafted email. Only a couple of things that would concern me. One, dear customer, it did not include my name. My name was not there. And then the other piece, they forgot to take out your name here. So my name should have been Lucas Bennett. That should have been here too. They forgot to fix that. So 2 red flags. Now, I would have also looked at the email to see where it actually came from. And also this phone number, 888-912-9237, that's actually Novaj Tech's phone number. It's 888-91-CYBER. But what I do is when there's an email that comes in with a phone number and I want to make sure it's the phone number to the business, I check on Google to see if it's the right phone number or what this phone number might go to. So hopefully you got that right, because this was a pretty tricky one. And if you understand this time of the year, people might be waiting for something and their order gets canceled. Now they're a little upset, so they call this number to try to reorder it, and they get tricked out of, money on their credit card or something like that. I didn't see any questions on the way here in the chat. So if there's any other questions, let me know. You can also email us at support@novaj.tech for questions. And if you tried that link at the beginning, it took you to a phishing page. It just says you've been phished on it. It's one of our pages. But this link is legitimate. This is 11 steps to mitigate the risk of phishing attack. It's an ebook. It's free. Just go to this website, bit.ly/bizcardnt. Again, bit.ly/bizcardnt. Download the ebook. Again, it's free. It's short read, and it's 11 steps to mitigate the risk of a phishing attack. And as always, if you want to follow us, see what we're up to today, tomorrow, the next day, or whenever, just follow us on the socials at Novaj Tech. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We are on X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it now. If you want to go check that out. We're on Threads. We never post those things anymore. So hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you again next week for Tech Tuesday at noon.